Yeah, you got this. You got the. Oh, you got it down.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it right.
You got the silhouette down.
We ain't playing.
Hey, listen, man. America, we're here again on another beautiful day on the Hawks and Friends podcast, man. And I'm just trying to keep my composure because we don't get a chance to be shoulder to shoulders with legends, shoulder to shoulders with icons, man. And listen, man, today's guest needs no introduction, okay? A Hall of Famer, an icon, a legend. Everybody make some noise for Dominique Wilkins.
Appreciate it, man.
What's happening?
What's happening, man? It's good to see you outside of the Hawks arena, man.
I'm telling you, man.
You're not as amped up today as you are at the arena.
Nah, man, because, I really be into it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But you amped up, but you ain't amped up like that.
I'm amped up because I'm a fan. When I'm at that arena, I paid for them to hear my frustration.
I feel you.
You feel what I'm saying? No cap, because they represent us. I am really from Atlanta, but you have been representing Atlanta for quite some times, man, and we want to say thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, man. I appreciate it. Atlanta basically made me who I am.
Right.
When I came out of high school.
Right.
Actually, I moved to Atlanta first before I went to the University of Georgia.
Uh-huh.
And Georgia kind of got me out of the situation that I was in North Carolina, which was a pretty intense, dangerous situation.
Right.
And this was the first city that I came to.
Man, and take it back to the 80s, man, the NBA draft. 82, first round, 3rd overall pick. Like, how did that feel? Because, I had a dream to be in the NBA, but it's people that actually lived our dreams. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we be living through people. So when we say that, and when people say that to me, I really understand. And when we see y'all on the court, everybody had a dream of being an NBA star.
Oh, you know what? That was our dream growing up. 'Cause I grew up in Baltimore, Maryland.
Right.
And at the time, Baltimore had the highest crime rate in America at that time. And I left home when I was 16 and got discovered on the playground the next day in North Carolina. That's where my high school career started.
Right.
And a guy asked me, he said, "Hey, son, you live here?" I'm like, "I'm not sure yet."
Right.
He said, "Where you going? You go leave from here?" I'm like, "I'm not sure." And he looked at me. He said, "Come go with me." I don't know why I followed. And he showed me his house. Showed me a kitchen, showed me the bedroom. He said, "You can have all this. The only trade-off is you have to play for my high school team." He was the high school coach
in
North Carolina. And I looked and I was like, okay. And that's how my career started. We were 76-1 in 3 years in the state of North Carolina, high school.
Ooh, how many championships?
Back-to-back.
Back-to-back.
Back-to-back championships.
See, I don't know how they feel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they feel.
And in North Carolina, that type of record was unheard because I came out the same time with James Worthy. We had so many. We had Mitchell Wiggins. We had a lot of guys come out of North Carolina. Of course, you had Mike come out of North Carolina, right. And you had Jimmy and Black. It was so many guys that played in basketball in the state of North Carolina back then, especially in North Carolina, Duke. Wake Forest. My high school teammate went to Wake Forest, so we had a lot of guys, man. And so to have that type of record in high school in that state,
right?
That's basketball mecca.
And for somebody to pull over to say, hey, for somebody to stop their car, get out, and say, "Man, I want you to play for me," you got talent. Because my parents didn't even stop to even watch me.
But the funny thing is, his players was playing on the playground that day, and I just went out and started playing with them. After I got off the bus, and he walked up,
right,
and the rest was history. After that meeting, I'm tell you what, he might be the greatest coach that I ever had outside of Mike Fratello that I've had in my career. He refused to let us lose.
I was just going to say that.
So we had a different. That team had a heart of a lion.
So speak on having coaches, because people don't understand roles are important.
Let me explain something about coaching. Coaches are put there to help you develop, teach you how to play the game. And, sometimes coaches use the best players as an example to push all the other players.
Correct.
All the coaches I ever had always jumped on me harder than anybody else. Because first of all, they know I could take it. Two is that if they could say stuff like that to me and get on my case, and sometimes even belittle you sometimes, nobody else can say anything. And that's the way all the coaches taught and developed me. And that's how I learned how to play the game from a fundamental standpoint, from a toughness standpoint.
Right.
And one thing I hate when guys, if a coach get on you too hard, you shut down, you clam up.
Got to build aggression.
I mean, this is what we signed up for.
Right.
So it's a lot come with being the king when you're the leader of a team.
Now,
you got to
speak on that.
Because you got to be able to take the heroics as well as
you are the target.
The criticism.
You are the target.
Yeah. And you know what? That's what I love.
Right.
That's what any great player would tell you, from Michael to Magic to Bird. And I played against them. These guys was monsters.
The pressure builds you.
And the pressure makes us who we are.
Right.
And the only way you can measure your greatness is you got to play against the greatest.
And I'm glad you said that, because I feel like it ain't no pressure in today's basketball. If you look at it, because OG, listen, man, when y'all was playing from the 80s and the 90s, even the early 2000s, you still seen it. Like, they call fouls. It's like the game has gotten soft.
Well, you could get away with a lot more. I mean,
they're shooting from full court.
The fouls are, it is what it is.
Right.
But this is the thing, big guys.
Right.
If you stay on the perimeter, I'm gonna use a guy like Miles Turner.
Mm-hmm.
If you stayed on that perimeter as a big guy, like he does, and a lot of the big guys, and if you miss 4 or 5 of those threes, you coming out. You coming out again. Even as small forward.
Right.
And if I wasn't making those shots, coach said, hey, step in, get to the free throw line, get to the post.
Right.
Take somebody off the dribble. So we was able to mix up our offense.
Right.
Because when you see highlights of me, what do you see?
Right.
Slam dunk, slam dunk, slam dunks. Well, it's very difficult to get over 26,000 points on dunks. I was a creative scorer. Everything you see these guys
talk
doing
your talk now.
You know what I mean? Because, the mid-range game, post game, getting to the free throw line, jump shot, I had all that back then. So it's like a lot of times people think that this is a new invention.
Right.
It's not.
It's been there.
We took a lot more high percentage shots. It's just a fact. Because I hear a lot of times people say, well, the mid-range shot is obsolete. It's just a dumb comment because it's the most high percentage shot outside of a layup or a dunk. Now, if you're great shooters like Curry and a lot of these guys and Luke and all these guys, you're great shooters like them guys can make those shots. But you got a lot of guys taking that shot that shouldn't be taking.
You could develop a good mid-range shot.
Yeah.
You dangerous.
Kawhi Leonard.
Right.
Even even Steph. You look at Durant, DeRozan.
Right.
He rarely ever takes a three.
What about Luka? I like Luka.
All them guys who can score,
right,
all shoot mid-range shots.
What Dirt?
Well, again, guys like that kind of, revolutionize the mid-range shot.
Right.
Because, it went away for a long time.
Everybody trying to shoot threes.
Yeah, and then it came back. But them guys really showed the analytical guys that y'all are dead wrong.
Right.
Because this mid-range shot, I can still get 30.
Right now.
I mean, I've had games where I had 52, 54, and had 1 3. And people say, oh, it's possible. It's impossible for you to get 57 points in 3 quarters. You didn't shoot threes.
Hitting buckets on them all day.
But what that says, though, is I shot a lot of free throws.
Right.
That's where my threes came, and ones. And so my whole objective was to get to the line.
Get to the line.
And you have to attack people. And that's what we did.
So looking at these matchups, because Michael stopped a lot of great teams that could have possibly been champions. If you looking at the matchups right now, like, what was your toughest matchup?
Oh, man. I mean, Chicago was always tough.
Right.
Chicago was always tough. New York, Philadelphia, Indiana, had Milwaukee. I mean, Philadelphia, they had a super team back then.
Talk your talk.
So everybody was tough. But, I never feared anybody I ever played against. There's one guy that made me nervous.
Who?
Out of New York, his name was Bernard King.
Wow.
And if you don't know who he is,
you gotta look up Bernard King. What happened now? What happened?
Because he's getting 40 and nothing you can do about it. Nothing. I mean, I couldn't sleep the night before I played against this
And
guy.
he getting 40 off top.
And when I used to say to myself, I said, look, I know he gonna get 40. So you know what? I'm gonna get 40. We just call it wash.
We just gonna call it even.
Okay, yeah.
Because everybody got that Michael Jordan effect, like they scared of Mike.
Michael and I are the only two foes in NBA history to average over 30 against each other for a whole career.
Every time y'all played each other.
Oh, and I didn't think about it. Somebody brought it to my attention. I look back on those games, I'm like, whoa, he had 47. I might have 42. I might have 45. He might have 40. He had 60 when I had, 40. And all those games was like that, man, because he brought out the best in me. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I know I brought out the best in him. We love competing against one another. And that's one of the things.
It ain't no competing no more.
I had to guard Larry Bird. I had to guard Dr. J. I had to guard Worthy, English, Dantley, Aguirre every night. We couldn't duck each other because I was not going to go over there and play the power forward position. They had a license to kick your butt, and I was not dealing with them guys. So at 6'8.5", I'm going against some guys who were 6'11", 6'10", small forwards. But that's the way it was. We didn't think twice about it. We like, hey.
Now they picking. They nitpicking.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, man. I'm like, bring it on, Because, most of the time that I played against Boston, Kevin McHale at 7 foot was guarding me.
You had to go out there and bust.
It didn't matter. The size.
Right.
We never, because this is the thing, most great scorers will tell you. Uh-huh. And, Bird and Jordan, the prime example of this. We never worried about the guy who was guarding us. Mm-hmm. We worried about the guy who was double teaming. Because we knew we can beat this guy.
But if they bring only
guy, and see, people ask me sometimes, how do you beat a double team?
Okay.
You go before it gets to you.
Right.
You know it's coming. Right. But if you can get by this guy first, the double team comes, it's too late.
Right. And there's now somebody open.
Yeah. And that's how I used to get a lot of my points because I knew the double team would come. Now, if the double team comes quick, you give the ball up because you're always going to come back.
So nowadays, you don't really too much see it's just a lot of the elements of the game is just changed. You don't really see a double team. The
double teams is like you play an area.
Right.
So if he comes to the area, you got help. It was a lot of one-on-one defense back then. And, of course, you needed help with certain guys because certain guys were monsters.
They just monsters.
And because, like I said, my first 8 games, I felt like I played against 8 Hall of Famers as a rook. And I finally had to get over it because I said, I know I had to play against these gods.
Right.
But I'm going to let them know I'm a god, too. And that was my mentality because you had to have that mentality. Them guys you're going to, you need the Dr. J's and the Aguirres and Worthy and all them. Because Worthy and I, we all came out in 79 out of high school. We actually, our high school senior class across the nation got voted as the greatest senior class ever.
Talk.
Because of the level of professional athletes that they created. Yeah, we had a lot of guys in that class to go to pros.
And to speak of that class, like the aggression and knowing like the highlight factor was real back then. So even knowing that, nowadays it's like the highlight countdown. It's cool. You done saw it before, but it was like it was demanded. Like you had to go out there and make the highlight. Like speaking of your iconic dunks, what's an iconic dunk that you remember and remember who you did it on?
Oh man, there's a lot of them, man. I think one of the ones that, and it's been a lot. Well, I think the one that they show a lot of is the one against Bob Lanier in Milwaukee where the clock was running down and I'm on the post. They throw it to me. I go to the middle. They cut me off. I went back baseline. And I jumped. And Bob Lanier, who was 6'11", covered the rim. I think he crossed his arms when he covered the rim. And I turned in air. He was coming down. I was still going up. And I dunked it on him right before the buzzer. And that was one of my favorite dunks because most of my dunks in traffic, that was my favorite. The dunks I had against Boston where I shot and it hit the rim and I caught it over like 3 or 4 guys. I mean, those type of plays kind of changes the momentum in the game. So, I mean, a lot of my favorite dunks, believe it or not, was in high school. In high school, I was looking in the rim. In high school, I was really
not even the one where you gliding all across the court.
Oh, in high school, man, our point guard was a wonderful point guard, and it was every game on the jump ball. We were trying to get an alley-oop every game. If we got the tip, we had a design where we run wide and he just throw up the either corner of the backboard, and we would go get it.
Is there a moment in your career that you wish you could have done differently?
No, only thing that I regret that I didn't do is bring a championship here in Atlanta. I think that's the only thing I regret. But as far as if I would do anything differently, no, because what I did and the way I did it, it helped build character, personality, respect. And so, winning a ring, a lot of times people don't understand. It ain't always about winning the ring. It's about competing to the highest level. Because I look at this, my ring was giving me the ability to play something that I love. That's my ring. And so, there's only one team that wins every year. A lot of great players have never felt that, So, that's the nature of the beast. That's the way it is. But would I change anything? No. Maybe one thing, the money they make now, but,
It's different. It's different.
Yeah.
These boys getting $256. Back then, a good 9-piece to be straight.
Yeah, I changed that.
$256.
Oh, man, I can't even fathom that. It's crazy.
That's crazy. Now, me and you enter the same part of the building of the arena, and you got a statue. You got something that's out there that's very, inspiring to the city. Like you said, like even though we ain't got no ring, it's you. The energy, the compassion, the aggression, the fight that you wanted to go out there and represent us. We feel that. And we're thankful for that. That is our ring. It's the love that you showed our city. That's our ring. Do you ever go into the front to even see the statue and just take it all in?
Let me tell you a funny story. First of all, let me just say this. What he captured in that statue is everything about who I am. And so when I saw it for the first time, man, I was blown away. I was so emotional I couldn't even shed a tear. That's how emotional I was, that choked up about it. Because it's not just about basketball when you receive something. It's what you've done in that city, how you connected with people, relationships, or everything. So, when it went up, I remember a couple of times I went down, I drove by. So one day I stopped by there, I put a lawn chair out there, had a beer. And I looked up, I said, big fella, we come a long way. And that really felt good, man, because it was a moment in my life that I never dreamed of, And even to this day, man, it's still surreal. So, I was talking to Steve Koonin, our GM, and our president, CEO. I said, I rode by the statue the other day, and it looks a little ashy there, Steve. And y'all got
put some lotion on that.
Y'all got to put some lotion on that.
It's still a bronze statue now.
Listen, I went back a couple weeks later. It was shining.
Oh
yeah.
Shining.
Yeah. So it's just fun, for people to see it, me go down and interact. Because sometimes I'll walk by there and I see people stop by, and they'll look at me, and it's like, "Is that you?" I said, "Yeah, most people think it is."
Yeah.
Yes, man. Yeah, it looked like me. But it's just a pleasure to see people admire it,
No, man, it's just amazing, man, just to see you, you know what I'm saying? Just get to smell your flowers while you still here, because like you say, it's not about the ring. It's about the love.
You know how many times I say that? I said, don't wait till someone's gone before you give them their roses. Give them their flowers while they're here, and appreciate what they've done. I remember when I first came in the league, and I said to Dr. J the first time I played, I said, I grew up emulating everything you ever done. I just wanted to be that next doctor. And I just wanted to let you know how much you meant to my life indirectly. You really helped me elevate my game to a different level. And he said to me, I know they're calling you the next doctor, but it's only one Dominique Wilkins, one Dr. J, but today you can start learning. And I remember he had a great game against me, and I wasn't upset. I said, that's the doctor. That's my idol. But once I got over that, it was nothing but competing with us.
When did you realize I am Dominique Wilkins? When did you realize, like, you know what? I have to start making my own mark in the game because I'm here now.
I knew before I came in the league, to be honest with you, because before I came to the NBA, I used to work out. A lot of people didn't know this because you couldn't do it at the time, but I did it.
Right.
I worked out with Pete Maravich and Maurice Lucas. So I got one of the most skilled guys in history who was for his time in Pete Maravich, and I got the toughest guy and one of the toughest guys that would play the game in Maurice Lucas, the enforcer. So when I came to the NBA, I wasn't worried about nothing. I'm ready to go.
Right.
But the thing about coming to the NBA in those days is a top 3 picks in the draft. You still got to pay your dues.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I could have averaged 20, 25 plus my first year, but the old heads, as y'all say,
still bust.
And you know, I had Dan Roundfield, Eddie Johnson, and Tree Rollins, young fella. Just play the game. Don't try to do too much. Ain't your time yet. But once I got their blessing, because that very next year, I remember Dan Roundfield said, "Now it's time for you to be the captain. You earned it." So you had to earn their respect. You know, they didn't hand you the keys that early.
That's right. That's right. Okay. So speaking of being in the game, like, was there any time where you got knowledge from an individual that you was inspired by? You know, especially like once you come in and you actually meet somebody that you seen on TV. Yeah. Cause you know, Dr. J, that was authentic. That was just so happened to be there. Yeah. Was it somebody like you were truly like, I want to meet this guy?
Well, he was the one. He was the one. The guys I really learned from when I first came, it was Dr. J. It was Maurice Lucas. Magic. I started playing summer ball with them before I came in. They made George Iceman Gervin. Them the guys, Moses Malone. Them the guys that I learned a lot from when I came late. God, these was not just superstars. These was legendary guys. Right. Still playing the game. And so I learned a lot from them. And I said, I want to be as good or better than those guys. And the only way you do that, you got to play against the greatest if you want to be the greatest.
And it's crazy that you said that. You played against the greatest, but not only did you play against the greatest, your career is longevity. And you can attest to this. In the NBA, 9 years that's cool, that's good, that's all right. You play long enough where you can establish, make you some money. Once you get into double digits, 10 and better, 12, 13, 14. Like, you good. Like, they trying to get every little juice about you.
Yeah, you know, I could have played 2 or 3 more years if I wanted to. I could have got to 19, 20 years. Right. But at that time, it was changing. It was about really kind of nurturing the young guys.
Be the vet.
You know, investing in it. Because I remember Chuck Daly said to me when I was in Orlando at the end of my career, and I was starting averaging like 19, 20 points and like 8, 9 rebounds. But I was only playing like 18 minutes a night.
That's still though.
And I remember he came to me, he said, we're going to start Matt Harpering because we need more scoring. Right. And I said, Chuck, let me say this to you. You don't have to blow smoke. I said, don't insult my intelligence.
Right.
I was leading the league in points per minute.
Right.
I said, if you want to start the young guys, hey, I'm not no problem with that. I understand things are changing.
That cool.
But don't come with me with that. Come on, really?
It's going 20 points in 20 minutes.
Yeah. And
you gonna score every minute.
Yeah, like, guys, this is what I've done. You know. So if it's about development, I'm cool with that. But let me know up front. This is what it is.
Right. It's about the business too.
Yeah, instead of insulting your intelligence.
Come at me correct.
Yeah. So I saw the change, and I said, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna retire and go into the front office, and that's what I did.
Say no more. Now you've been in the game for quite some time. Like, what is the most craziest fan interaction that you had? Because today's fans ain't fans.
Hey, no.
Back in the day was fans.
Hey, listen, they had a guy in Detroit called Leon the Barber. I can't even tell you the stuff he said, some of the stuff he said to us behind the bench. And he sat right behind our bench and had 2 big bodyguards sitting there. And some of the stuff he said you can't say on air. It's not clean enough for television.
But see,
it was bad.
People don't know that like fans back then was trash talkers.
But they didn't get thrown out because it wasn't for us. It was entertainment. We didn't get upset, get fans thrown out. We just didn't do it. Not unless a fan came out of the stands and did something. But talking, hey, all they did is motivate us.
Right, because it's supposed to make you bring the dog out.
And because that shows you your toughness too.
Kind of like shut him up.
Why I'm gonna get that fan thrown out? He obviously is a fan of mine because he
came to see me play.
He's talking crazy, and because this is what motivates him. But you know what? There's something, that same fan, Leon the Barber, after the game would ask me for my shoes.
All the time.
So it was never personal. He was supporting his team, So it was a lot of fans around the league like that. I mean, we loved it. We embraced it.
Who was the best trash talker as a player?
Oh, man, a lot of my brother was one of them. Cheryl. Yeah, I remember he told me, he said, big bro, you ain't scoring no more tonight. I said, little bro, I got 40. I don't want to score no more. I'm done. As a matter of fact, coach, take me out. I don't even want to play no more.
When you asked to be taken out because you too good versus you asking the coach, why you taking me out?
The only reason I said that because he was talking trash, but it was a lot. Chuck Person, Indiana Pacers, oh, my God. It was almost like we fought every game. We had a fist fight or shove him at something every game.
Every game.
Yeah. And then you got Larry Bird. Larry Bird, if you wasn't ready, he took your heart.
Ooh.
Larry was great. And it was a lot. It was quite a few guys that talk like that, but Larry and Chuck was some of the best. Larry was number one because everything he said, he did it.
He backed it up.
He backed it up.
That's a bad boy.
He's a bad. And that's why, again, I hate when people ask. I had a guy ask me, did I think I could score 15 points a game in today's game?
Could you?
I said, is that a trick question? I said, which quarter?
I
like, are you serious?
Right.
And I said, I averaged 30 in the hand check era.
Right.
I said, what do you think I'd do if you can't touch me? I'm like, come on, man. Really?
Can't touch me.
But we all like physical contact.
Facts.
Man, I wanted to bump and grind down around the basket because the thing about when you can feel a guy, you know how to play him.
Mm-hmm. I already know how you play.
I already know how you can play because if I can feel you, I got you.
Mm-hmm. I already know how you play.
Because if I can make you commit one way, I'm going opposite. And people say, well, what do you mean by that? I said, a lot of times when you guys catch the ball, the first thing you do is dribble.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what you do when you can feel a guy, you commit one way or the other. If you feel him move to your right, you drop and go left.
Mm-hmm.
And those are all the things we learned in high school, college, to prepare us for the pros. So all that stuff, see, up and under, drop step, power, we learned that at a very early age. The thing is how can you put pressure consistently on a team,
right,
if you don't attack?
Right, you have to attack.
See, my whole thing was, this is my strategy. If I'm playing against another great player on the other side of the ball,
right,
if I can get 2 fouls on him early,
mm-hmm.
now I create an advantage for myself because now he's not going to play me as hard.
He's going to back up. He's going to back up.
Trying to get that third foul.
Right.
And so you create that advantage early. Now you get going.
Mm-hmm.
Now the ball is going in the basket. Your level of confidence is elevated. And, you're trying to get that third foul on before you get to halftime.
I feel like we're getting our coaching on. And since we in our coaching, and this is Hawks and Friends, what you think them Hawks got to do, my man?
Well, first of all, we got to stay healthy, man. I mean,
yeah,
injury, we've been hit with that injury bug, and we got guys out right now. But I got to give it to these guys, man. They still fighting.
Right, we got to fight.
Still fighting. They playing hard.
Got to fight.
And each night it's a different guy to step up.
Right.
Last game was Trey hitting a big shot.
Need that
big fourth quarter.
Yes,
that he had. But you look at. He played well that night. Dyson Daniels played well, and that's what you got to have when you're decimated. With injuries, you got to do it collectively. It's hard to do it with one guy.
Yes, sir. And that's crazy because as a collective, as the city, we all want to say thank you again for bringing that energy and that love, and that's why you got a statue. Ain't nobody got no statue.
You know what? There's only one jersey I felt good in throughout my career, and I'm not just saying this. It's a Hawk jersey. When I was with Boston and L.A. Clippers and San, I didn't feel right. I didn't look right in those jerseys.
Yeah, you look right in them colors, man. But only this red and yellow matter, man.
That's right. That's right.
Box fade. Hit you in the head. OG, it's an honor, man. Don't let this be your last.
Oh, no. We can do it anytime, man.
And then we at your crib.
Yeah.
They got a Picasso. He got a pool, and he got a gazebo. And don't nobody be over here. The gazebo
right.
for him.
You're right. Yeah, that tiny house when I want to get away from my grandkids, I go over there.
He got a tiny house to get away from his house. He got a house to get away from his original house. He tired of that house. Hey, man, it's a blessing and an honor, man. And, like you said, we just want to continue to give you your flowers while you're here, and we appreciate you, and we're thankful for everything that you've done for the city.
Thanks,
and we're glad that you came and did it for our city. That's why I wore this jersey. Let you know, man, it's still hit. That's crazy that you could do something so long ago and it still.
You know what's funny?
I'm 33.
You know, you can get my jersey. I can't get it.
Why?
They said they had to order it, which is a good problem.
Yeah, I'm about to say, but you created it.
No, but no, then the Hawks will always make sure that I have a jersey for the families and grandkids, and I have 2 great grandkids.
I'm a great uncle.
Oh, man, you're too young for a great uncle.
That what you say. My mama had me when she was 45. My daddy was 61, OG.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
My daddy graduated high school before you.
Show you right on that.
Show you right. Hey, OG, Atlanta, man, you know what's up, man. Hey, man, it's a great episode on Hawks and Friends. Get it.
Yeah, this is my area.
You got to have a pad, man.
Only time I really come in the house, I'm gonna eat
Right.
or go to sleep.
Right.
But these 2 rooms.
This the getaway, man.
This is my humidor right
That's why I
here.
can't wait till my house is done so I can get my pad.
So I got my pads down on here.
Right.
You know why these are here, right?
Because
when you smoke in here, you can't burn my chairs.
fat. Oh, okay.
this is.
I need some of these
This is
then.
to cover my chairs.
I thought it was just like, you know how old folks
no.
keep the plastic on their furniture.
Well, it's something like that.
Okay.
It's something
We
like,
know folk
hey,
booty
you-
stank right
hey,
here.
hey,
This is a booty rub.
Hey, look, I don't want nobody, burning holes in my chairs. But both of these areas, it's like my
You drink.
cigar bar.
You drink.
Yeah, I got a little.
See,
stuff.
this one like more family oriented. Even when the family want to get out, but this one I had my business meeting.
Yeah. I have a lot of meetings out here.
Yeah.
We do a lot of podcasts from time to time out here, but I wanted this to look more like a log cabin.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
And then I have my own.
You got your own cognac.
I got my own bourbon.
Get your own bourbon.
I'm gonna give you a bottle.
Yeah, give me a bar. Oh, this
That one's
whiskey
yours.
too.
That was yours.
Walking around the crib with it. That's what we doing.
I built the floor myself. I did the floor myself.
So you telling me you got down here and you put
Screwed
this
it, leveled it, sand.
until you realized you
boards
needed
down.
somebody professional to finish it.
No, I finished it.
For real.
Yeah, I did this whole floor. I did this backsplash here, that whole wall there.
That's fine.
And only thing I had, because we had shingles at the top.
Uh-huh.
And
You
I
got
said,
to
I
get
wanna
rid of the
close this
shingle.
in. So I had somebody that could do the roof, but the floor stuff I did.
Oh yeah, that's
Then I came and
thing.
put heat and air, and then I put, cigar.
So you
humidifiers in.
so you be reconstructing houses too.
I ain't gonna say all that, but
I mean, anybody that can do a flow, that's the start of something.
Yeah.
You need a flow before you get a building.
I'm really handy. And
Yeah,
so
I like that. See, I'm a country boy myself.
I built a lot. Even the little boards on my tiny house, I built those. I put those boards on.
Oh, that's all right, though.
And actually, we took my old fence down, but my uncle and I built the fence.
Y'all built the fence too?
Yeah.
You dug it up,
Oh yeah.
stuck the wood down.
Yeah. I got my nail gun and the whole thing.
You know that's engineering,
That's engineer.
right?
That's the engineer.
See, people don't know that that's engineering.
I've always been a handyman. I come from a family that the men of the family
Right.
always worked
You got to,
and worked inside and out.
right?
So yeah.
Got to get dirty.
Yeah. Only thing I like when my kids, they come here, they take basketballs and they throw them all over the yard, and I got to come pick it
I'm
up.
about to say, 'cause I thought that was a boat. I'm gonna say, you don't do no fish.
Oh, no.
You don't fish?
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay.
I do. I bass fish.
Okay.
Been bass fishing. My dad, father from North Carolina, that's all they did. Fish
Right.
and hunt. I used to hunt too. I used to steal my grandfather. He had a gun to shoot 16 times. It was silent. I used to go out and shoot at the barn.
Boy, see, I thought I was good. I ain't good. I'm gonna keep this bourbon right here. 'Cause this my championship trophy.
Yeah. That is excellent bourbon.
And you know what? I don't drink, but I'm gonna drink that.
I'm not much of a drinker. Usually it's for other people.
Right.
I kind of experiment a little bit, but I'm not a big time. Well, I'm getting ready to replace this whole floor because I've had it here for a minute and it's starting to fade.
Mhm.
So CBA Sports, which I'm partnered with, this is what we do. We do outdoor courts.
Right.
We do indoor courts. And yeah, you got it down.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it right.
You got the silhouette down.
We ain't playing. What?
Hey, wow.
That's the box fade I was talking about, man.
Hey, that's funny. That's funny.
That's
So
the
yeah,
box
so
fade.
we have a court building company. Actually, I have my own signature floor coming out.
Right.
You know.
How would they? Because I refer them to me.
So I got you. This is what, if you want to call, just call me and I'll make sure they get over and look at your property.
Yeah, I need one.
Matter
of fact, I want this same silhouette. Matter of fact, I want this same cut.
You know what? That's what I'm gonna
with
do.
The Hawks logo.
Make sure you get my information, and I'll send the guy to help because they'll come out and look at your property.
Same court.
See where you want it, and
I got ups now.
And see, this is also a tennis court too,
right?
Because you have rebounders here. These are rebounders,
right?
And then you have the hookup.
These right here, rebounders.
Court. Yeah, it's the rebounders.
For the tennis.
I mean, actually, like if you want here shooting by yourself,
right?
You can, this is your rebound.
So what's your technique of a perfect jump shot?
Well, I don't know what it is now, but back then it's just just going straight up and down, give balance. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm pigeon-toed, so I'm like this, go straight up and down.
And go crazy. Let me see.
Yeah, you got to have form, baby. You got to have form. I'm old man now. I can't shoot it like I used to.
Don't worry about it.
That's a good looking shot.
That's a good looking shot. Nah, coach told me that I wasn't gonna be there.
But I'm gonna tell you though, the first thing I would tell you though,
right?
Start right here.
See,
most kids,
you just said
the first shot they take?
The three.
A three.
You
know what? See the ball go down. Take an easy shot. See what I mean? Take like two of them and then you step out.
Right.
Knock down like two of those. There you go. Now you can step out or go to the corner, whatever you comfortable with. Now you done seen that ball go down.
Right.
You know? I've coached both my sons.
Both of them? See, but look.
And my daughter.
Isn't that like a blessing for you to give off some game to your loved one, especially that you know that they can use?
I think we have a social responsibility to give back what we've learned.
Right.
And when I hear people say, oh, well, I'm not a role model, I don't like being a role model, but you are. Once you put in that position,
right,
you have an obligation to give it back.
Right.
You know, that's why if you ever see me with bodyguards, all that stuff, how can you connect to people if people can't
even touch you,
interact with you, touch you? I mean, so that's why I get respect from places I go, especially in the city of Atlanta, because I'm one of you guys.
That's how I like when I'm moving in the city. Like I understand when I'm out. That's cool.
Certain times you may need that.
But when I'm in the city, man, I don't need no security. I know how to move around these neck of the woods.
I go to the grocery store.
I'm outside.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I go to the grocery store, all that stuff, and people are like, hey, Nique, how you doing? Because they see me so much.
How you doing?
So, I don't have to have all that around.
Right.
So
right. And that's how you stay connected with the earth, with life. Yeah. You already know what's going on because just because I do this, I'm still a human being.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's why people love you, because when you do that, man, you got a little jump shot there.
Man, I tried to do a little something. Once he told me I wasn't gonna be nothing, I put the jump, I put it down. I put everything down.
Hey, so my youngest son, 6'11", right?
Right.
He used to come out here, him and his friends all the time. And they kept the goal, and all they wanted to do is dunk. I said, man, put the goal up. What are you doing?
Right.
I said, if you want to learn how to play the game, put it up 10 feet.
Right.
Well, Dad, it's just me and the fellas. Man. I put the goal up. I mean, I'm screaming at him all the time.
Right.
Now he finally realized why.
Because he done tried on this.
Anything with the
7-footer. You ain't doing that.
I see him, and actually, it was a little bit lower than this. I'm like, come on, son. So the funniest thing, as he got taller, I think he was 6'8" at the time. Mm-hmm. He had a couple of his friends come over, and he asked me to come out and play with them. I said, I don't know, I'll be out there in a minute, son. So I saw him on the court from the window, and he kept looking back and see if I was coming.
See if you were coming.
I said, you know what?
I got to call.
I got to go.
I got to call.
So it was me and him against two of his guys, and these kids were like 6'8". Both of them 6'8", and, and one of the guys said, don't worry about his pops. This guard Jacob. I like,
what? What? You tried me?
Oh man, I was wearing this little kid out, right? And so he tried to go by me. He hit me in the chest. My son said, oh, he hit a brick wall.
You gonna learn today, son.
Hey, I hurt for 2 weeks. That was the last time.
Yeah, that was it.
No, that wasn't in my forte.
Right.
As playing
as
with
an OG
kids every day.
Yeah.
And it wasn't in my wheelhouse. So
I'm just gonna give you some game.
It was fun while it lasted, Because I knew he wanted me.
He just wanted that experience.
He wanted me to come out.
He wanted that experience.
Tell his, say this friend, his dad out there playing.
I remember me and Daddy bust y'all.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to pull that goal up. But, first of all, it's a God-given talent, a gift of being able to elevate, But somebody dunk for the first time, make sure the goal is at a height that you can reach it.
I'm saying.
I believe my first dunk was 13 years old.
I had to dunk the 10-footer before. I don't think I can do it again. I mean, I don't say can't in my vocabulary. I can. See, practice makes perfect. I don't practice to dunk.
I just noticed that shirt, man.
Yeah, we don't play.
That's a nice shirt.
We don't play, man. We represent right here in Atlanta, man. We get it in blood, and we represent.
All right, they want to see what you got. See what you got.
It's all about which dunk you want me to do. Wait, off the backboard? I'm finna go crazy. Okay, they want it off the backboard. Off the backboard. I'm throwing it up too high for myself.
That was one of my slam dunk contest winning dunks there.
See, but this now I got to perfect.
It's all timing, baby. It's all timing.
It's all about time.
It's all about time.
It's all about how you bounce. I ain't know that backboard was
not too hard.
I know that backboard had a little semen on.
Oh yeah, that's it. There you go.
Dunk contest now done got soft.
Hey, oh man.
They be doing stuff looking at. I be like, you ain't do nothing. And you know what?
Now McClone is doing it again this year.
Right.
For a three-peat.
Right.
It's amazing because you got a guy coming out of G League.
Talking about the little short one. Yeah, he been doing the thing.
If I'm an NBA player, man, I'm embarrassed.
Embarrassed.
G League guy beat me.
Embarrassed.
No, sir.
Okay. So think about it like this, right? How you looking at it? How do you see that right now? You don't have to make it to the NBA. They got so many.
That's what it's saying.
They got so many avenues. You right, coach. I probably won the NBA player, but I'm an NIL Europe League player.
Yeah.
You never taught me that. I only thought NBA was the only way.
You know what? If you're an NBA player, you work all your life to get to this level.
Right.
And ain't nobody at this level.
Right.
And I'll pay you, I'm sure Michael Jordan, Magic, all that.
Right.
Ain't come and beat me.
Right.
No, not happening. Because it's pride.
Right.
Pride. It's all about pride, man. Hell, we were going at the toughest guy.
Right.
To do the contest.
Right.
And you had to bring it. My first dunk contest was Dr. J, Larry Nance, Daryl Griffith. I mean, these are legendary dunkers that was in this dunk contest.
Right.
And again, I didn't do very well in that dunk contest because I'm stargazing because of Dr. J. That was my guy, And so once I got over that next year, I said, I'm not going to just be in a dunk contest.
I got to improve. I got to show myself.
I said, I'm going to win it.
Right.
And I won it that next year. So, that was my mentality. Again, I played the game at one speed. That was all out.
Right.
That's the only way I knew how to play.
Right.
I wasn't going to come at you. And I get out on the break, ain't nobody beating me down for it. And you look at guys like myself, James Worthy, people, how fast we ran the lanes.
I think suicide, all that came about. Ain't nobody suicide no more.
When we ran the fast break, we wasn't going to stop at the three-point line. We get into that rack, especially early in the game.
I see. Okay,
we get into the rack because again,
now you talking.
Easy too.
Right.
And you got a chance to get it.
I see too many people right here.
So when you want a fast break and there's nobody between you and the basket, especially early in the game. Now, late in the game close, you need to be, of course. But early in the game,
punch it.
You get that too easy too. Now you're seeing the ball go in the basket.
But this what we see.
You don't start pressing.
We seeing 3-4 people in the 3-point line, one person at the post. And you got one person on the side, like he waiting on him to come over here with the, and you like, ain't no move. Y'all ain't set up no plays.
The classic way of running a fast break is when you get it to that point guard.
Right.
And you fill the lanes. You go wide and then you cut in. So you got a choice, either side. Now, if they don't get it, you go through and you cross.
Right.
Now the big guy come down and you have what they call a secondary break.
Mm-hmm.
So the ball never stops.
So check this out, right? Just like you said, if you would have missed 4, 5 shots back then, you getting out the game.
Oh, I could.
They got centers coming up the court with the ball. When we start doing that?
But see, the thing is, the object of the game is to get the ball up the floor as quickly as possible by
Right.
any means necessary. So yeah, I brought the ball up the floor a lot, but I was pushing it.
Right.
But most time, I wanted to be the one to finish the play, not start it. So I
Right.
get that ball to Doc Rivers, Spud, Webb, and I just fill those lanes.
Right.
Because I know it's coming back to me.
But how
And
you
that's why I
gonna
got-
get a
that's why I
rebound if
got
your
so
center
many-
bringing the
that's why I
ball
got
up?
so many layups and dunks and one plays
Right.
at the rim because we was willing to run. We ran the ball to the floor, makes and misses.
So we'll never get secondary chances if our center is bringing the ball up. Who gonna get the rebound?
The guard.
How? When he ain't taller than the power
Oh
forward.
yeah, but again, it was just a different way of playing back then. I was trying to be very efficient.
Right.
And how you do that? You gotta attack.
Gotta attack.
See the ball going to basket, get to the free throw line. And like when you see in the mid range, I was doing all that mid range stuff way back then.
How you feel about people doing this? Because I see this a lot. Guard or power forward, whichever one to beat their man. You can tell it ain't in their contract to shoot too many shots.
Right.
They got a free
Oh, I
shot.
already know what you're saying.
And here they go. You know what I'm gonna get to you.
Hey.
God, but that gets on my
It
nerves.
drives me crazy with big guys to see them get right here.
And they pass the
And
ball.
they pass the ball. If you did that back on, if a big guy would have passed that ball back out when you right here, again, especially early in the game,
Right.
you might not see a lot of playing time because you're giving up an easy.
You giving up a
for
easy-
a maybe.
For he
So
ain't gonna make it.
because this is a high percentage shot. But I
Right.
see so many guys, rim is right there, and he do this, throw it out. That's bizarre to me. Because even as a smaller guy, I'm not a center, I was small forward.
Right.
If I got the ball in here, it ain't coming out. I'm trying to get this guy in foul trouble and get it easy too. The thing you don't see, I had a jump hook.
Right.
I get the ball here. For
Right.
example, I get a step,
Right.
dribble, using this.
I'm
as
using my
leverage.
body to give
I
me
don't have
room.
to throw it out, but just hold the guy at bay. Got a
Right.
jump hook. Or if I get it right,
Right.
and like I said, come here for a second. I'm gonna show you something.
Right.
If I go this way and you go with me, right?
Right.
Then go with me. So if I move, go with me. I'm this.
You gone.
Right?
You gone.
You're,
Right.
You're done.
You gone.
Or if you guard me,
Right.
I take a step up, I
Right.
rip through,
Right.
then I come through.
Right.
Or I go the opposite way.
You got options.
And then I go this way.
Right.
Then I throw it off the glass and in.
Right.
That's the things we were taught.